All right. Oh, hey, look, we're on the air. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Black Hat USA 2022. Chuck Harold, SecurityGuideTV.com. This is episode 2996. No, 2696. I'm not sure what date it is, Ryan. Ryan McCurdy, he's the VP of Marketing for Bolster.ai. Mr. Ryan, welcome to the show, my friend.
Thanks, Chuck. It's great to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Today's title is From Frustrated to Automated, Securing Your Digital Brand at Internet Scale. Now, I haven't heard this sort of title or wording. I'm very intrigued by this, but let's start out by talking about what Bolster.ai does and what are your product offerings.
Yeah, sure. So, I think, well, just put simply, like we're in the phishing and fraud detection space, and what's really interesting is we've seen this kind of new attack surface evolve over quite some time, and that attack surface is really the public attack surface. And these vectors, across the open web, social, app store, marketplace, etc. And these are the ways, a lot of times you're transacting with customers, talking to customers. These are like a lot of the new ways you're getting attacked. And Bolster has really created this incredible platform underrooted in automation to detect, analyze, and take down fraudulent sites and content. And we're doing that for some of the most innovative companies in the world, who have and really suffer from this problem, and really their customers and employees and partners suffer from this. And if you look at just recently, there's been some pretty big breaches in the news. Cloudflare, Twilio, for example, just this week, who were experienced this, and this is from just a lookalike domain phishing attack. And these are the things that we detect and take down for companies.
This stuff is so important. And by the way, it's been going on a long time. So back in 1999, I think it was, I get a call from the Fox Legal Department. Hey, will you look at this website? It kind of looks like our website. So it was newscore.com, but the fake website was newscores with an S on the end of it. And they web stripped the entire thing. It was the exact replica. And, if you mistype newscore, News Corps, because people got that wrong, you went to the fake site. And every time you clicked on a link to see Mr. Murdoch, it went to some pharmacy in China. I did a ping on it and found out what was going on. That was in 1999 or 2000. And that was pretty rudimentary back then. Now, this is just out of control. And really, I work for Fox at Disney, and at Disney, what? Number one recognized brand in the world, icon, Mickey Mouse. This is something worth a lot of money. And I'm glad to see there's a company like you that's on top of this, because you can go out of business having the best mousetrap, and if your reputation's damaged. It's super important. Now, tell me the benefits Bolsterai customers are seeing from the use of this digital risk platform. It's so big, Ryan, that the average company has no idea where all these websites are and what domain they're in. And I Google something here in the U.S., but it could be up somewhere in Europe. It's really a big problem.
Right. Right. Chuck, you kind of hit it on the head, because it's really easy to go spin up a site. You have your .coms, but then it's really easy to spin up a .co or .xyz. And companies today have so many domains and subdomains, and usually pretty significant having a presence on social, where we see a ton of executive impersonation. So it truly is a big problem. And now that every company's gone through some form of digital transformation, this is really the new attack surface. So it's pretty crazy. And what our customers are seeing is a couple things. One, to typically tackle this challenge, it takes a lot of people to do it, because it's so vast. Like the fundamentally, it's a scale problem. You can only throw so many bodies at this, so many security analysts. The challenge is it's the web. So, you just have infinite amounts of data all the time. And, what Bolster created is an automated platform. So we'll actually do the detection and the analysis of these things to determine, okay, well, is this fraudulent? Is it not fraudulent, based on, our working with the company, using, visual mapping, kind of looking at logos, looking at favicons, looking at all these things, the HTML code in the page, etc. and we'll make that determination. And then the most amazing thing is typically, if a company would identify these things, right, and then they'd have to figure out a way to take it down, and that's ultimately like the hard part, in my opinion, because there's a lot of vendors out there with threat intel. The problem is there's no remediation, and that is a really big problem. And Bolster has this incredible platform where across web, social, app store, marketplace, and the dark web, we can actually do takedowns based on the threat intelligence we gather and analyze. So we've built incredible partnerships and APIs with some of the top web providers, of course, the social platforms, et cetera, to do what we call is a two-click to fix to actually take down these fraudulent sites and content. And I think that is a really powerful problem, because what it translates into, for the modern security organization, you don't need to go hire a team of security analysts now. You really scale with our platform and tackle this big problem. So that's kind of big benefit one. The other one is, usually, like I was kind of saying, it's relatively complex to do all these takedowns. So you're adding on a bunch of people, or you're using a bunch of different point solutions, and then maybe you're outsourcing your takedowns to a SOC. We're actually consolidating that stack. So there's actually a tremendous hard cost savings and soft cost savings that our customers realize as well. So there's a pretty incredible ROI with our product. So, tackling scale and saving a lot of money, people love that.
Now, I'm going to say this incorrectly, but you're going to help me with this. When DNS, data name service, your IP address, your web address, when the management of that shifted from the United States to whatever committee it's in worldwide now, I guess, did that make it more difficult for you guys? In other words, if this is being hosted on a server in Russia, nobody really likes to follow rules, how difficult is it for you guys to take those sort of things down?
Right. Right. So I think, when it shifted, it makes it challenging for everybody, for sure. These are things we absolutely come across, and we do have success taking these things down. And a lot of it comes down to, getting these kind of providers or, specific sites mentioned internationally. So like on watchdog sites, et cetera. And really it starts to become a pressure thing where they start to lose business. And that's usually when we see, the levee break, so to speak, where like, they'll allow the takedown. I think with the major providers, it's typically never a problem. That's, that's the easy button for us. But it's when something's spun up and across the world, and they're one of these preferred things out of China, Russia, et cetera. It's a challenge for everybody, but we have a really great SOC team that is, puts on a master class taking these things down.
So we're going to put the right tools in place by using Bolster AI. And if a company does that, they're 100% better off than they were yesterday, right? But what else can they do? What else can organizations do to protect themselves from fraud? Internally, let's raise the bar for them. Let them know.
Yeah, so I think there's some pretty incredible tools out there, like KnowBe4. It's one of my favorites. I think at a certain level, everyone has to be educated on just like what to kind of look for, right? So I think that kind of internal training is really helpful. But there's also some really great free tools out there, and it's not just for employees and people that work for your company. It's also for your customers. It's also for your partners and people you do business with, to use some type of kind of like phishing scanner. So we actually have a free tool. It's called checkfish.ai, completely free, just open source. You plug in a URL there, and it will tell you like, hey, is this a known phishing site? Is this a known phishing URL? So using something like that, I think can really, really help people. Just before you click on anything, go to checkfish.ai, plug in the URL, and it will tell you like, hey, should I mess around with this or not? And that, I think, when you add that into your own personal workflow, that can save everyone just a ton of headaches.
Ryan McCurdy, he's the VP of Marketing for Bolster.ai. That's .ai. Speaking about securing your digital brand and internet scale, an often overlooked, but probably one of the most important things to do to protect your business and reputation. Mr. Ryan, thanks for coming on the show, my friend. Good luck at Black Hat. Get out there and sell them. This is a really important issue, and I think more people are catching on to this now as we move forward into the next year. So good luck at Black Hat, and maybe I'll see you in person next year.
Absolutely. Thanks, Chuck. Appreciate it.